Hello, I'm Kevin McDonald, also known as Tachyon Blue. 8 months ago, I began an investigation into corruption in the video games industry and into the history of Gamergate for a multimedia project involving live streams, videos, and ultimately a multi volume book of interviews. That investigation has led me to uncover corruption, censorship, harassment, and a lack of ethics in many areas. Unfortunately, there are those who want this story suppressed and have used underhanded tactics to do so. Recently, those wanting to kill this story have been joined by TikTok and Mastodon, who have banned my accounts despite not violating terms of service and without explanation. I'll be going over some of the evidence for this now.
On TikTok, my account was shadow banned recently, without explanation. My views went from being in the hundreds to suddenly dropping below 10 for all videos, with many stuck at 0 views. They were no longer being promoted on the For You page or by the algorithm at all. TikTok support has been completely unresponsive for weeks, despite myriad attempts to reach them, including through their official feedback/help function, publicly on Twitter, including a popular tweet asking them to address the censorship, and over Twitter DMs. TikTok did finally reply to my support request on their site recently, but only after I sent them, their PR team, an official request for comment about me making this video, and only for them to say that view counts can fluctuate. Well, that's not especially helpful, nor does it address my concern. Mastodon has also decided to censor my investigation into corruption in the games industry. First, in March 2024, Mastodon deleted several posts of mine claiming that they were hate speech, but took no action against my account. Mastodon then ignored my appeal for months. Just days ago, Mastodon permanently banned my account for hate speech and immediately rejected my appeal. Even the evidence they provided for me engaging in hate speech, both in March and in May, is laughable. None of the posts promoted or encouraged hate against anyone on the basis of immutable characteristics, or on any other basis for that matter. In March, the examples they gave of hate speech are of me making a public call to see if any journalists who wrote negative articles about Gamergate want to come and discuss their articles for my book. Others from the March censorship include me talking about interviews I did with two scientists, Professor Chris Ferguson of Stetson University and Nicole Sund, as well as me discussing corruption at Kotaku. They also censored a post about the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy where I criticized much of the media's coverage of the situation. The other examples they gave were of me talking about interviews I did with Oron Darklord and Amanda Maroon, two people who supported Gamergate. In the very recent permanent ban from a few days ago, they censored me for posting about a conversation I had with a documentary filmmaker, Raymond Wallman, who made the Airplay documentary. They also censored me about an announcement I made that I would be being interviewed by Murkoff de Perk and Karantos, two freelance streamers, as well as that I would be continuing my book interview with Chris Ferguson. They also censored me discussing collusion amongst games journalists to censor and cover up topics that they don't want the public to see, as well as me talking about how I would be interviewing another documentary filmmaker, Peter Coffin, and a tabletop RPG content creator, Mildred the Monk. According to Mastodon, all of this is hate speech, pointing out corruption in the gaming industry, talking with university professors and documentarians, being interviewed by independent journalists to discuss my project. All hate speech, according to Mastodon. I'd also reached out to Mastodon support, but they refused to reply. I should point out that I've been censored on TikTok before. In July of last year, very early on in my content creation, and before this project, TikTok censored a video of me agreeing with Anna Kasparian about terms like bonus hole being unproductive. They immediately rejected the appeal. This shadow banning started in April 2024, though, and is unrelated. These recent attempts to silence me and prevent this project from being finished are just the latest in a long line. Games journalist Leah Alexander leaked my private correspondence with her, including my full email address, which I consider public information, but she probably didn't know that at the time, to her 100 plus thousand Twitter followers to send them after me. She was supported in doing this by Adam Moore, a regional coordinator for the IGDA and Global Game Jam. After the Alexander incident, a far left live streamer named Ninetales spread false claims about me as a guest on someone else's show, Food Shops, that I was intentionally victimizing myself and that I'd been complaining about Alexander doing this for days, when in reality, the incident had occurred just hours before. To her credit, Food Shops had me on to defend myself and correct this misinformation. In an attempt to pressure me into not exposing him as a fraud, far-right blogger Patrick Ryan threatened to both hack and sue me. He also tried to dox me and raid my Discord server, but he was so incompetent that he raided the wrong Discord server. He did find out, though, that I'm a Russian transgender furry who plays Star Citizen. All true information, by the way. I ran with the story anyway and exposed his attempts to threaten me into silence. There have also been several attempts to harass my community over Discord, including a January 2024 attempt by several individuals to both spam my Discord server and get it banned, and two attempts in May 2024 to raid my server and spam it with pornography.
All these people have failed in their attempts to silence me and stop my investigation, and they will continue to fail. I will not be silenced, not by censors at TikTok and Mastodon, not by harassers, not by false claims. This book is going to come out, whether they like it or not. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Voice your perspective and critique my work. But to rely on underhanded tactics like this only shows that they have no arguments to make. I may be shadow banned on TikTok and permanently suspended on Mastodon, but you can still find my work. I will continue to produce content here on YouTube and on Kick. If you haven't already, please subscribe. You can also join my active Discord community or follow me on my various other social media feeds such as Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, Threads, and other social media sites. Links to my Discord server as well as my social media platforms will be in the description. Thank you. I will never let these people censor or intimidate me into silence. TikTok and Mastodon have not responded to my request for comment regarding this story.